Hey guys, welcome to Juicy Tea, where I read out the best stories on Reddit, so you don't have to. The funny, shocking, and satisfyingly juicy. Today is Bridezilla Saturday, with the craziest wedding stories from across Reddit. I think my family tried to ruin my wedding day. Our first story comes from the wedding shaming subreddit, posted by SwimmingJuice9752. I got married to my partner in a small ceremony in our backyard. We're middle-aged, and this is a second marriage for both of us. It was a simple affair, but almost every guest was travelling from the Midwest, where I'm from, or from within our state, but travelling hours to join us. We live in a fairly remote area. Obviously, we were very excited that my parents and one of my siblings was coming out for the wedding. My parents had already planned a visit, so we scheduled the wedding for when they were going to be here. My sister decided to come along as well, a couple weeks beforehand. I made hair and makeup appointments with my regular stylist for myself, my mum, and my sister. First appointment was at 10 a.m. I'd be going last, so I was home getting our house ready until noon. When I got to the salon, my stylist said that my mum and my sister had already left. Okay, kind of weird. I was hoping we'd spend some time together. We live almost 2,000 miles apart, and I guess I hadn't thought that they would ditch me for the day. I got back to my house around 3 p.m, where there was still a lot to be done. At around 3:30, I'm freaking out trying to get everything ready. So I messaged my family asking where they were and that I needed help. This was all outlined long before the day that my mum, my sister, and I would get our hair and makeup done, and then they and my dad would help me with the final party preparations. The wedding was maybe 20 guests and very low-key, so I hadn't considered getting a wedding planner to help with things like getting ice in coolers and setting up the bar, etc. But it turned out that my mum, my dad, and my sister went to a fancy lunch an hour away and had just gone back to their rental at 3:30 where they were getting ready. So I ran around doing all the last-minute party things. People started showing up and I'm sweating off my makeup, wondering what the F I did to make them ditch me all day. My parents and my sister finally showed up to help at 4:15. At first I'm relieved because now I have 10 minutes to write my vows and get dressed before the photographer arrives. Then I look at my mum. She was wearing a knee-length, cream, lace dress with tall brown boots. I am also intending to wear a knee-length, cream, lace dress with my cowboy boots. She knew this. I'd sent pictures of my entire look on me. My sister had gotten the same pictures. She knew what I was wearing for my wedding and what my mum intended to wear. In fact, I'd sent them photos of a few dresses that I was deciding between. All but one of the 8 I was considering were knee-length cream and lace. When I said, "Why are you wearing a white dress?" she replied, "It's cream, not white." So I said, "Yeah, mine too." By then, I was full on crying and said I was just going to wear a different dress because I didn't want to be twinning with my mother on my wedding. My dad eventually took it back to their rental to change. They returned about an hour later. The rental was only 5 minutes away. I probably should have just shut my mouth and worn a different dress. Neither one of my parents spoke to me that night, except to say goodbye. My sister stepped up and at least helped throw trash away, cleared the food table, and passed out cake. But I can't get past the fact that she, a 35-year-old, did not tell my mother that she couldn't wear a dress nearly indistinguishable from mine. The following day, my parents hosted a brunch for my friends who came from the Midwest, and for my mother-in-law and sisters-in-law. It was nice, but my mother would not speak to me, and my dad just seemed annoyed and pissed. Classic Irish Catholic passive aggression. My new hubby and I came back to my family's rental that evening to watch a football game. The entire evening was awkward as F. We left shortly after the game ended. My mother hugged me and started hitting me on my upper back and neck, right where I have chronic pain from multiple brain surgeries. It was so clear what she was doing that I said, "Why are you hitting me?" She didn't respond and went to her bedroom, and we sprinted out of there. I'm still so upset. It's been over a month and I'm having anxiety dreams about my family messing up whatever event I'm trying to pull off in my dreams. And I'm having dreams with flashbacks to my childhood where I was never good enough because I wasn't a jock. My life is finally wonderful. After a decade-long abusive marriage, a rare brain disease, 5 brain surgeries, and developing a chronic illness as a result, my husband and I stumbled into each other, and we've built a glorious life together. But all I can remember from our tiny wedding is how hurt I am by my biological family. Even the thought of a holiday gift exchange makes me sick. I'm just so mad at them. I can't find any reason for their behaviour other than, best case, not considering me at all my wedding day, or worst case, they really were trying to hurt me. Well, they've succeeded. I was genuinely happy for the first time in my 42 years. They destroyed my wedding day with their behaviour, and a few weeks later, I'm thinking they've destroyed their relationship with me. Incredible Bog 2 says it best. Hey love, you are good enough. You are worthy of love and belonging. I really can't conceive of what your mother's problem was, but please know that it isn't on you to discern or solve for her. It's too bad that she couldn't enjoy a celebration for you. Please lean into the person you married that makes your life these days so wonderful. I'm sorry she made you feel that way. You didn't deserve it. My husband crossed the line at his bachelor party. Our next story comes from the Relationship Advice subreddit, posted by RefuseDelicious 1972. My husband, 30 male, and myself, 30 female, have been married for 1 year. We've been together for 10 years total. He's not someone who regularly goes out to strip clubs. He's only gone a couple times during our entire relationship. I've always been very clear about my boundaries. I would accept the occasional visit, as long as he isn't spending an obscene amount of money, no lap dances, and no touching, him touching them or vice versa. I recently learned that he received numerous full-contact lap dances over the course of his 4-day bachelor party weekend. They went to a strip club each night. He wouldn't confirm the actual number of dances he received and said that the other partygoers paid for them, 10 other people. But he did say that he'd gotten more than one dance each time they went. I'm assuming this means he received at least 10. He also confirmed that he was touching their butts and their boobs. Apparently, the guys gave him a large amount of cash to use at the strip club on the last night as well. I also discovered that he'd gone to the strip clubs several months before this, but just hadn't told me about it. He's got a history of lying by omission. They also went to a couple of regular clubs, and because of the above, I have a hard time believing that he wasn't acting inappropriately there as well. Thinking about all the possibilities that he hasn't admitted to makes me feel sick. I'm absolutely devastated. I consider this cheating and no longer trust him at all. I don't know if this is something I can get past, and I'm so embarrassed to be heading towards divorce so soon after being married. He said he knew I'd be upset, but didn't think that I'd be as upset as I am. This is BS, as I reiterated my boundaries a week beforehand. He usually is an amazing partner, so this has really blindsided me. Anytime we spoke about lap dances in the past, he said he had no interest in them, so I thought we're on the same page. How do you overcome something like this? Too long didn't read. My husband received numerous full-contact lap dances over the course of his bachelor party trip, with the full knowledge that this was something that I'm not okay with. I don't know what to do. Down in the comments, Cultural Shape 3518 says, he said that he knew I would be upset, but didn't think that I'd be as upset as I am. Translation, I don't respect you enough to take your feelings into consideration before doing what I want. I just care that there won't be any lasting consequences if I get caught. He had the whole 4 days to rethink that philosophy, plus the totally unrelated excursion and the general history of lying by omission, and just kept right on going. That doesn't sound fixable to me. Yeah, that's how I read that line too. It really doesn't matter what the actions were. If it's something he knew would hurt you, and you've said was a boundary for you and the relationship, crossing it was a huge sign of disrespect. The trust is broken. That's a deal breaker. Would I be the a-hole for refusing to let my mother-in-law wear my wedding dress for a vow renewal? And our last post comes from the AmItheAsshole subreddit, posted by a throwaway account. I, 24 female, got married to my husband Marcus, 25 male, 3 months ago. It was absolutely wonderful and went off without a hitch. My mother-in-law Rose and my father-in-law David are gonna get their vows renewed in about a month from now. They both said that my wedding inspired this. I was happy for them and I thought it was a great idea. My parents did the same thing, but on a smaller scale when I was 19. However, a week ago, Rose came to me with a request that she wear my wedding dress since she was forced to sell hers when Marcus was a kid. She said she didn't want to spend the money on a brand new wedding dress. I was shocked and just told her that I would think about it. I thought about it and honestly, I don't want her to wear it. I want to preserve it for my future daughter or granddaughter, and the dress would have to be altered in order to fit my mother-in-law. I'm also afraid of it possibly getting stained or torn, since Rose is clumsy and has ruined expensive clothes of mine and her own because of it. The fabric is delicate, and part of it is white, which is notoriously hard to get stains out of. Rose has been texting me, wanting to know my answer, and I haven't told Marcus about her request yet. Edit. The reason mother-in-law asked me, instead of renting a dress, is because she doesn't think clothing should be rented out, and she'd feel uncomfortable wearing a stranger's dress when I suggested these options. I personally find it super creepy whenever mothers want to wear their son's bride's wedding dress, or even white to their son's wedding. Why is this such a common thing? This comment from Nutcracker78 basically sums up how I feel about it. As a mother of a son and soon-to-be daughter-in-law, I honestly can't imagine anything more disturbing and revolting than wanting to wear her wedding dress. What will the next request be? Oh, now we've renewed our vows, we want to take a holiday. What hotel did you guys stay in for your honeymoon? And what room number? We want to get the same bed. Ew, 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 yuck, yuck, yuck. Oh, that's so creepy. I hope OP puts her foot down and refuses. Remember, I post new content every day, so subscribe for more juicy tea.